Offensive line, big area of improvement this year, and Josh McDaniels back as the offensive coordinator. First throw from May is complete. Get him in the game right away. Stephon Diggs, 16 and a first down. May retreats, steps up. Rousseau waiting for him there. So the penalty makes it 1st and 17. Same thing, Allen escaping, throwing on the run complete, a couple shy of the first down to Dalton Kincaid. The tight end is off to a hot start. Darrell Shavers was the man in motion as Allen scans, eludes Barmore, and fires complete into New England territory. It's a first down for Kincaid.
Amazing. I just snapped my finger.
It's amazing what Drew Esikoff does for you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, mishandled there, and it's Patriots ball. It hit Knox as he was coming by in motion, and New England has come up with it. Joshua Farmer for just the second time this year. Miscommunication. The rookie waiting for it, and the Patriots have it in Bills territory. Stevenson remains the back. 5 in the pattern, and Stevenson with the catch. And he loses the ball. The man has had a lot of fumbling problems over the last couple of years. Let's see if this will be ruled down by contact or a fumble. Stevenson, let's see if his knee is down. Nope. It is coming out. It is knocked out, so it will be a fumble. And Shaq Thompson looks to be the one who punches out, and it is Shaq Thompson who knocks it out. And fellow linebacker Bernard comes up with the recovery.
It's too many. Ramondre Stevenson is just fumbling the ball way too much.
So we just started again. No penalty. 1st and 10. And the run up the middle to the 37 for Cook against the New England defense.
Love to see him get some option routes and some opportunities to get open.
Ty Johnson in the game. 3rd down. Putting it up. This time, what a defensive play by Marcus Jones. Next fall, start putting seats in there, I was told, here this week. So it's really coming along. Antonio Gibson is the running back for the Patriots. He's got it, runs with purpose to the 28-yard line. Showing pressure. May fires right complete. Reaching forward is Booty. And Kayshon Booty. 3rd and 3. Buffalo brings 4. May fires and that is dropped. It was on Stephon Diggs. Taron Johnson was there in coverage. And from the 7, Allen will complete it, and a lost football again. It's free, and let's see who's on the bottom of that pile.
I mean, this is borderline unbelievable, the start to this game. I mean, these are two teams that really pride themselves on not giving anything away, especially the Buffalo Bills. And there at the end, you see Jalen Hawkins jumping on that thing. But that was all Robert Spillane. What a play by him. And these guys, and once the feeding frenzy starts, defenders just go crazy. Everything they do now is to try and strip that ball out. And Josh Allen.
Antonio Gibson, the running back. He's got it, coming left. Gonna lose a yard. And Borregales adds the first points. Glad to be with you from Orchard Park here tonight. AFC East battle. Bills 4-0. Pats 2-2. Allen's 2nd down toss is complete to the 44-yard line. It is Kincaid again, and that's a first down. 2nd and 6. Play action. Allen looking left, coming back to the right. Crossing is Joshua Palmer to the 29-yard line. Jackson Hawes, the rookie tight end, one of the multiple tight ends, all 3 in the game for Buffalo, paving a path here as Cook gets to the 11-yard line. They're in the inside, trying to make a push here on 3rd and 3. Feed to Johnson, Allen in trouble, pitched it forward. He's got Shakir, but he's got 5 blue shirts awaiting him there. And the flag comes down from the back as well. From 31 yards, Prater with a new holder in Mitch Wishnowsky. And the operation is clean. The field goal is good.
And then he went to Houston, and all we heard was what a great leader and teammate.
And again, he's got it here on the sideline of the 46-yard line. And a first down. He was in Houston last year.
He's really done that for Greg May.
injured week 8 last year. May taking off here. He is tied up and brought down. A.J. Epinesa is there. So too is Dion Walker.
And let's stay in the offense a little bit. But, man, the growth that he's shown over the last 5 years, incredible.
2nd and 7. Here is Allen taking off. Getting away to the 32-yard line. That's a little bit of what it has been with Josh Allen over the last few years. The imbalance in the number of flags, however, we've shown replays of almost all of them. All the calls have been right so far, save maybe for one. Here's Allen taking off again. Running to the left side, getting the ball. 3rd down and 7. They are bringing 5. Trying to keep Allen in, and they got to him. Terrific, patient pursuit. Milton Williams was there.
This is a 4-man overload. They're going to come from here all around, and he's going to step right into it. Only one guy on the other side, and yet because of the containment that time, nice job there by Harold Landry. He stepped right into the trap.
And his head hits the turf. Buffalo getting the ball to start the second half. And the pitch back. Here's Henderson, the rookie. Trevion turns the corner.
I mean, they basically won him the game.
Pushing the best. 2nd and 6. May on the run. Slides down. Hit. Flag in.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 8. It's 15 yards out to the end of the play. It's 1st down.
2nd and 15. Jack Westover, the fullback, moved over to the other side in motion. He's out in the pattern, too. May's looking downfield, and it's brought in at the 19 by Hunter Henry. 1st down in the red zone for New England. Clock turns, now stopped at 53 seconds. To Robert Kraft, son Jonathan, brain trust here, who have reached into the Patriots history, and Vrabel is their head coach. May trying to make some history of his own. Drake on the run got hit hard as the 1st down at the 7-yard line. Austin Hooper split out. Henry goes to the right as well. May rolls it, throws it to the end zone. It's incomplete. They've got a second left.
Second plays that we're going to see this season. There he is trying to get that thing to Henry, and looked like they were going to get it. He just couldn't get settled after the contact was made early on.
No flag necessary. The rare 19-yard field goal attempt to end the half. Andy Borregalis got it, and the Patriots will take the lead to the locker room.
Yep, that physical presence has an impact on football players, believe me.
2nd and 4 for the Bills, and they're all whites. And the Allen throw is caught. It's Kincaid, who's had a good night. Catch number 4 for Dalton Kincaid. 18 on the season. He's got a Buffalo 1st down. Inside give. Cook, good job to get through the traffic and get near a 1st down. Good career at Chestnut Hill. He was a teammate with Matt Milano, the Bills linebacker, for 3 years with the Eagles. Blitz coming by Jones. It's picked up. The throw is complete for the 1st down to Keon Coleman at the 21-yard line. From the 21, Allen, time, fires right side. That's Dawson Knox inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. The guy who was the tight end here. Those 2 deep safeties force you to all the checkdowns. The 13, Shakir on the edge using his speed. Hello, Shakir sets up 1st and goal here for Buffalo. 2nd and goal. That's the most excitement of the night. Here's Allen. Here's Samuel. There's a touchdown. Curtis Samuel gives Buffalo the lead.
Safety's going to run over here as this motion. Fake the motion, go back again. And just as it happened, Jalen Hawkins changed directions, and by that point, had no chance whatsoever. That is what you expect, and they are getting it in New England.
Campbell, Jared Wilson, 2 rookies on the left side of the line. For May, 1st down throw at the 43 is caught. Brought in by Stephon Diggs. Catch 4 in his return to Buffalo.
Even if you lose the game, you want to advance your quarterback.
Diggs, the motion man, bottom of the screen. May rolling that way, pointing, throwing towards Diggs, who broke free, and he's got it at the 5. Stephon Diggs kept working, out of bounds at the 4. First and goal, New England.
Watch all the loop-de-loops he does to get open on this one. May found him on the tail end of this thing. Huge play. Huge play. Tough catch on the boundary as well. Diggs was something for his old teammates.
32 on the game. First and goal. Patriots looking for the lead. Ramondre Stevenson pounds it into the end zone. New England on top.
We've seen all season long. Watch on the tail end of it here. You'll see the block come in right out of the corner. If you can eliminate those safeties on the goal.
Second and 10. Allen. Love it how he throws those crossers. And then catch and run Shakir. That should be a flag there for the tackle. It is way too late by Jones. Dawson knocked bottom of the screen. Ty Johnson, the running back, 5 in the pattern. And it's complete inside. Kincaid again. To the 15-yard line.
Watch Milton Williams right here. There are so many young quarterbacks that would throw an interception right to Milton Williams here. Just never see it. Snaps his head back.
Targeted 5 times. Kincaid's caught 5 inside run with Ty Johnson to the 10-yard line. Come back to a point you started to make earlier, Chris. The Bills are rotating backs. Cook's so good. You've paid him a whole bunch of money. Love hearing the communication, huh? Second and 13. Allen bouncing, firing, intercepted. Underneath, Jones comes to get it. And he's tackled at the 13-yard line. 3 Buffalo turnovers tonight. Career Marcus Jones, special teams player of the week last week. Big defensive play this week. Patriots ball. Patriots lead. Patriots need to get to the 20. Buffalo brings a late blitz. May escapes. Throws on the run again. Sideline. It is caught for the first down.
He's at his best, and he was forced to do that. There it is. Oof. And you'll see exactly why he was flushed out. Fake it, drop out, and then come get May. He saw it coming right at him, out of the pocket again and over, Mike. When he's outside the pocket, he makes those plays. When he's late inside the pocket, that's where he struggles.
Down, May, Diggs. Got it, and he turns the corner. Stephon Diggs having a corner to the 41-yard line. And Drake May. Searching, firing down the middle, hung on to at the 35-yard line. That is Hunter Henry for the first down. That's 24 yards to the tight end. A long stretch, almost 2 full years without. Stephon's been big tonight. He's got it again. He's got a first down and more. Diggs on the run inside the 20. Stephon Diggs all the way to the 4. Loses it on the way down, but he's down. And it is first and goal for the New England Patriots.
And Mike, the key to what Diggs is doing is he's starting his running motion before he catches the ball. Watch as he steps back. That's already his first move, and that first move allowed him to escape the tackle.
Pitch. Stevenson, touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson.
Such a good play call. Watch all the motion. Let's pull over here, and then we're going to flip it back this way. Watch how many looks are right there. Bosa flies down inside. They get it outside easily. Tremendous play call. I tell you, you're starting to see now Josh McDaniels being able 10 points with the pass protection they've gotten. Surprising.
Lone touchdown, the drive to start the second half. Here's Allen starting to get going again. It's been a big night for Kincaid. The tight end hit hard over there at midfield. Cook inside, what penetration. Cook had nowhere to go. Harold Landry, but the late hit.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 92. This is a dead ball foul, so the foul will be enforced from where the runner was tackled. It's first down.
Race, one of the great plays of the night. Just a huge hit here with a foolish foul on the back end of this. Clearly down, everybody's just celebrating, and then, yeah. I don't know exactly what made him do that, but it hurt.
See, he was on a knee there after the hit from Landry, so 2 penalties. 10-10 to go in a 2010 game. Allen scans it. It's not. Had the first down with forward progress. That's where they will mark Dawson. Shakir in motion. Allen double clutches. Now takes off to the sideline. Gets a lot as he gets down quickly on that narrow sideline. Just shy of the 6-yard line. First and goal for the Bills in desperate need of a score. Allen fires end zone. Coleman touchdown.
You're going to get somebody in the flat, and then instead of somebody else in the corner, you're going to kind of hang back in here. And so everybody's going to sort of overrun the play because of the flat. That's where everybody hits the touchdown pass. But now it's a layer behind it, and you can't cover both. Settle right there.
First down, Joey Bosa chasing, throwing it away to Stevenson, complete on the edge. That's a good job again out of the pocket by May all season before this game. 3rd and 5. May chased and taken out of bounds. Kincaid, the motion man, has 108 yards tonight. Allen got rid of it, but it's incomplete. He was about to get taken down by Carlton Davis.
How many times to the vision side, which is this way, that you don't see blitzes coming? It happens all the time. You assume you're going to see that, and somehow, just at the last minute, Josh Allen able to not only get it off, but also get just...
Flips it towards Coleman, the big receiver, goes up and gets it, using his frame, 6'3", to get a first down at the 40-yard line.
Receivers in the game, this is exactly what they got him for. He played college basketball at Michigan State, about 6 different games there, and you can see the rebound ability, and that's when you...
He saw Spillane coming. Spillane still coming to throw underneath him. Shakir to the 27-yard line. Tackled by Jones. First down, Buffalo. And here we go. 2.5 left. 3rd and 10. Allen trying to make it happen again. Going to throw it across in the middle. It's broken up. And Matt Prater, who's just keeping himself in shape out in Arizona. Pressure right at him. He gets rid of it, and it's caught. What a play to Diggs for the first down across the 40-yard line. Drake May, what a play. May got away just before the knee came down. Patriots have it first down at the 40-yard line. Starting to think about what the strategy will be. Patriots have all 3 timeouts. May firing sideline. It's caught right around the 40. And there's Kayshon Boutte bringing it in.
This is the heater zone right here. You want to throw one in beside a cover 2 safety, you better have a laser, because that guy is going to be flying in that direction. And everything we've seen from Drake May is just like...
From the 34, pressure on May. Boutte trying to get away from Bosa, does, takes the hit and gets back for no gain, which is a big deal because it keeps them in field goal range for the lead. Right down the middle, Borregales nails it, and the Patriots take the lead with 15 seconds remaining. Picks not get into the target zone and give a short field to the other team. Doesn't happen here. Curtis Samuel with the kickoff return. Taking a lot of time to go across the field, and there's a flag down on top of that. So now only 8 seconds remaining.
That the Buffalo Bills did pre-snap. It would have been so easy for them to flinch, to jump off sides. Superior coaching here on the part of the Patriots. See that movement right before the snap, and not one flinch on that offensive line. How many different kicks this year have we seen blocked and run back for a touchdown and mistakes made? That was a big moment.
And terrific initial height on the kick See everybody backed up to the 35. Be a lot of laterals coming. The first pass has to be caught first. It is by Palmer, but no time left on the clock. And the last of the unbeatens has fallen in the NFL. The Bills have lost at home, and the New England Patriots let everybody know they are here. The Patriots come into Orchard Park and beat the Bills 23-20.